This is going to be a short overview of the code window. The code window is this window that I have open that for now is called Untitled, and it's used to code movie packages, which might look something like this. I can create a code button, double click on it and give it any sort of user-defined name that I like. Maybe I'll just call it bus. And then I use this code button to mark points in the timeline based on where the playhead is. So I'll go to code mode here, let it play. And I can pause the video in this case. I can mark in to mark the beginning of this span of time, then play the video to what I would consider the end of that event and single click on this button again. You can see when I mark out, a row is added to the timeline with the same name as the code button. And if I move the playhead out of the way, a little instance is here. And if I double click on it, another movie window opens up and we can see that instance play. That's the general idea of a code window. I've gone ahead and built another code window to demonstrate some of the other functionality. So instead of having to mark in and out, meaning click twice, we can also set up code buttons to make them one-click buttons. So for example, if you're coding an event that happens in a standard duration of time every time, I could just click on this button called bus once, and with one click it automatically, in this case, codes a 4-second instance. Those fixed durations are also completely user-defined. You might also notice on the bus button that there's the letter S just below the name bus. What that is what we call a hotkey. And the way that works is that, in this case, I can use the S key on the keyboard to replace having to click on the button itself. So just for sake of example, I'm going to press the S key on the keyboard right now. And you can see with one press of that button, another instance is added to the timeline. You might have also noticed that you can use pictures as buttons. In some cases that might be more helpful if a picture is more intuitive than the text name of the button. You should also be aware of what we call labels. Labels are important because they let you add further layers of information to the instances. In this case, these yellow buttons here, north, west, south, and east, are labels that belong to the bus code button. So in my mind, I would like to know which direction of this intersection a bus entered from. There's one that's entering, and in this case it's coming from the south part of the intersection. So I'll rewind, and what I want to draw your attention to is I'll play the video and then click on the south button. That will, with one click, code a bus instance, but also assign a south label to the instance. So now with that one click, I get another instance down in the timeline, but if you notice when I hover my mouse over it, there is a label that's south, and you can see the group enters on top of it. Labels are important to be aware of because that's where the real analytical power of Studiocode lies. And one of the first places you'll be able to take advantage of labels is in the matrix. So keep that in mind as you watch further video tutorials. And last but certainly not least is the fact that a code window is a template file, meaning let me close the intersection 1 movie package, and I'll go ahead and open up an intersection 2 movie package. You can see that this is a different intersection, a different piece of movie, but notice I have the same code window open. So I can use it in the exact same way, that if and when I see a taxi or a bus cross the intersection from a given angle, I can click on one of these labels and it activates a code, and it works the exact same way. So the code window is meant to be used as a template file with any movie package. It doesn't know or care what movie package it interacts with, and you can create an unlimited number of code windows as well.